All right. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy. I'm back again with another video. I hope that you guys are doing well and I hope that you guys are staying safe. Today you guys is not going to be too much of a long video. But I actually did want to touch on a topic here that I was thinking about when it comes to dealing with the narcissist cuz I know that many of you may have different feelings about the narcissist. Maybe you may begin to understand what happened to you differently or cope with it differently and also have a different perspective about the situation with the narcissist, right? All of the abuse, the trauma, the mistreatment, and things like that, the things that you suffered and just what you had to endure and overcome, right? So I just wanted to reassure you guys and let you know that remember that whatever does happen to you with the narcissist or what the narcissist they make you go through, they put you through stuff, just understand that it happens for you and not to you, right? So I want you to kind of try your best, right? Because I know it's easier said than done, but try your best to change your perspective about the abuse and the trauma that you experienced, because once you're able to shift your perspective, you kind of shift from being angry, mad, bitter, resentful, and hateful. Then you shift your perspective to consciousness, awareness, perspective, mindfulness, and being constructive, right? That's kind of like where you want to lead towards, because I get like what happens to us, like the abuse that we endured over the years is not fun, right? It's not pretty, it's not cute, it's not something that you want to brag about, right? Or even talk about, right? A lot of people don't want to talk about this type of stuff. A lot of people rather keep it hidden, a lot of people rather stay silent, or they allow the narcissist to silence them, or maybe it could be their own ego, maybe their own guilt, their own shame, their own regret and remorse that they could feel, that makes them ashamed to speak up of what they talked about, makes them hide to speak up what they went through. They don't want to feel embarrassed, they don't want to feel sad, they don't want to feel lonely, they don't want to deal with those feelings, right? So I just wanted to encourage you guys, like, hey, it's okay to heal, right? It's okay to do your inner work, do your self-discovery, do your self-improvement, because at the end of the day, whatever the narcissist does to you, God actually takes it and he uses it for your own good. So even though the narcissist behaves in a way that's evil, it's toxic, it's negative, and things like that, God actually can take what the narcissist does and he can say, hey, you know what? You can use this not only to help yourself and to heal yourself, but you can also help other people. You see what I'm saying? So I just kind of want you guys to remember that. Now, I'm saying this because this is years of recovery, right? This is years of me dealing with abuse. This is years of me overcoming different traumas, different narcissists in my life. This is how I can say that, right? But I know newer people, maybe you're still on the path. Maybe you're still trying to like cope with the abuse, right? Maybe you're in the post discard phase and you're like trying to just like understand everything, trying to cope, trying to make sense of what happened, and maybe making peace with the situation. But also, maybe you could still be angry with the narcissist for some, right? Maybe you're still angry. Maybe you could still be feeling sad. And for some, maybe you may have hope for a better situation with the narcissist, right? I know, like, me back in 2014, when it came to me dealing with the male narc, I'm not gonna lie, like I really did think that the narcissist could change. Like, I was under the impression like, oh, he's a normal person, he's not like, he doesn't have like a personality disorder, he's not obsessive, possessive, controlling, a stalker and stuff like that, a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that was him, but based off of what I went through, right? And you guys always have to remember, and this is gonna help you to let go of any hope that the narcissist can change, right? This is gonna help you to let go of any like illusions that you may be having in your mind, or any fantasies that you could be thinking like, oh, maybe the narcissist will change. Maybe they'll wake up one day and, treat me better. That's not going to happen. And another way that can help you break out of that illusion is remember what they did to you. Always remember, whenever a toxic or negative person mistreats you or that they do evil towards you, remember that's who they really are. They're not going to change. That's who they want to be. And that's okay. If they want to be that way, let them be that way. But you don't have to behave that way. You get me? So, but just understand that person is not going to change, and you shouldn't want to change them. You just allow them to be who they are, and you go ahead and be who you are, and you go ahead and be around people that are like-minded, So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, just a little video for encouragement. I just want to share with you guys and let you know, like, it's okay, to feel how you feel, but also remember, whatever does happen to you by the hands of the narcissist or any toxic person, just remember that maybe this individual is in your life to help teach you a lesson, right? Maybe this person is in your life to help you to work on some healing, right? To work on some trauma, to work on some attachment wounds, or to work on some emotional traumas that could be coming up, or some different type of inner work that you may need to fix. And when the narcissist comes in your life, they will bring that up to the surface. So when that comes up to the surface, it's always best to be able to see it, feel it, and understand it, and then let it go. You get me? So that way you're not holding on to any anger, right? You're not holding on to any bitterness. You're not holding on to any resentment, any hate, jealousy, envy. Like, you're not holding on to that type of stuff, because that's what a narcissist does. A narcissist does not self-reflect, right? They don't look within. They don't do any self-discovery. They're always looking on the outside. That's why they need a lot of people around them, because they're empty. They're empty vessels. They're emotional vampires. They're energy vampires. They're looking to take your energy away from you because they don't have any energy. That's the reason why they have to be around a lot of people, so they can they can gear up, or they can energy up, power up on other people's energy, because they don't have any for themselves, So just be careful. And actually, speaking of emotional vampires, let's look into it real quick. And then there was another topic I did want to share with you, that somebody was a individual, I guess it was kind of interesting, kind of admitted that he was a narc. And I'm thinking to myself, it's just like, hey, that's good. Like, should more people that are narcissists, should they admit to it? Now, for the most part, they're not going to, because they're such cowards, right? So, they're not going to admit it. But I'm thinking, in a perfect world, that would really be nice, because, the thing is the narcissists, they're so deceptive, right? And they're always trying to trick people and stuff like that. So that's usually like their MO. So they probably feel like if they admit to being a narcissist, and that'll kind of like, ruin their game or their tricks that they have, right? So just be careful of that. What was I gonna? Oh, emotional vampire. Let's look up an emotional vampire, energy vampire. Let's see. Yeah, just this is something to keep aware of when it comes to dealing with the narcissist. Okay. So oh boy. Okay, how to spot let's talk about an emotional vampire, and then we're going to talk about how to spot one. Okay. Or energy vampire. So an energy vampire is a person who drains the emotional energy of others, leaving them feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and anxious. The term is not clinical, but rather a colloquial way to describe someone who constantly demands attention, support, or empathy. You guys can go to verywellmind.com. So it says here are some signs of energy vampires. So they are overly negative. They criticize and belittle others. They never take responsibility. They complain a lot about others. They act like a martyr. They are often involved in drama or workplace politics. They try to one up others. They demand to be the center of attention. They will use guilt, ultimatums, or intimidation to get what they want. They rarely ask questions about others. They rarely show care or concern for others. And it says here is a way to deal with energy vampires. For those of you who are like, well, hey, Joy, how do I deal with the energy vampire? Because more than likely, 9 times out of 10, the narcissist is an energy vampire. They're an emotional vampire, right? That's why, like I said, they need supply because they need you. They need your energy. They need, like they see you as a host. Like they feed off of you, right? Because they don't have anything. They're lifeless. They're soulless for the most part. They're an empty vessel basically, right? And so that's why that's why they can never be alone, whether it's within friendships or if it's in a relationship. You will never see the narcissist single. Like they have to be with someone, because if they are by themselves, then they have to deal with everything that they've done to the many people in their lives, and they don't want to deal with that, right? That's why they always like to project, whatever it is that they've gone through onto other people. They like to scapegoat and use other people to try to pin stuff on other people, which is like, no, 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 like that's on you. but yeah, so it says communicate assertively. This is how you can deal with an energy vampire. You can say something like, let's go back to my point about this topic let's go back to this, sorry guys, let's go back to my point about this topic so it doesn't get missed. And it also says ask for space. It says you can say something like, you have a huge personality energy that just frankly sometimes overwhelms me, but I don't want to offend you, but I just need some space. And it also says learn to say no. If you can say no, you can say no if you're uncomfortable with going out to lunch with someone, or whether if it's the narcissist or another toxic person, it's okay to say no. But the narcissist doesn't like to hear no. They want to be like, and they may do outbursts or tantrums, or they might, they're a child. So just imagine telling a child no. You know what I'm saying? Children don't like to hear the word no. You get me? And so yeah, it says energy vampires are people who sometimes intentionally drain your emotional energy. They feed on your willingness to listen and care for them, leaving you exhausted and overwhelmed. And that's why too, the narcissists, they like to get reactions out of you, and they like to try to what's the word? Give me a second, you guys. They like to provoke you, and they like to try to intimidate you and stuff like that, because that's their energy. That's how they power up on that. But if you don't give them anything, then you starve them of whatever it is that they're looking for. So like I said, they have to find another host, So just make sure that you're not that host. Let them go ahead and do that to somebody else, right? So let me see here. But yeah, more things on energy vampire. They need to be the center of attention. They exaggerate problems. They blame others constantly. They use people. They're drained and tired. They're anxious and stressed. And they're overwhelmed by negativity. So that's a common thing here. It says, what are some common energy vampires? It says kettles are the Dracula of the energy vampire world. According to our research, in most households, the kettle is plugged in and is used around 4.7 hours per day. Wow. Okay, yeah. So energy vampires take advantage of your kind and caring nature by trying to steal much of your time away or make you feel guilty if you're not spending time or acknowledging them. They may also give you ultimatums. So a narcissist for sure will do that. Absolutely. So just be careful, I mean, it's okay to be caring and loving the people and understanding, but just be mindful that you're not dealing with a narcissist or, a toxic person that maybe is trying to use you or manipulate you, or, trying to take advantage or trying to control you and stuff like that. You'll know too, trust me. Like you'll definitely, your body will tell you like who the narcissist is. Like it doesn't have to be anything that's said, or because, the narcissist is always shape-shifting. They're always trying to put on a front, and they very trickery, right? Trickery individuals, very deceptive and cunning. So your body will tell you who the narcissist is. So just sit and feel how you feel when you're around the narcissist, and always remember what they've done to you as well, how they mistreated you, how they took advantage of you, or they manipulated you, and how they made you feel, right? So yeah, it says energy vampires need someone to feed off of. Often that is caring, compassionate person who is willing to listen and do things for them. That's why highly sensitive people are targeted by energy vampires in the workplace. So that can be a big thing too. So just be careful of that. Let's see. Um Yeah, communication characteristics of an energy vampire. It says they will use a lot of me language. They talk about themselves. They are quick to ask for your advice. They tend not to practice excuse me. They tend not to practice active listening. They tend not to display signs of empathetic communication. They might give you the silent treatment. So the narcissist will definitely do that for sure. All right. And then it says here, yeah, it says, how do you know if someone is draining your energy? It says you may not know someone is an energy vampire when you first meet them, but you can tell whether you've been around an energy vampire if they constantly make you feel overstimulated, annoyed, or apathetic. So now, it says whether or not an energy vampire can still bother you after you cut them off largely depends on your actions. If you continue to think about them, check their social media, talk about them, or post questions like this, you're essentially still giving them your energy. So you just want to make sure, if you're trying to, cut off a narcissist, it's best to just like let it go completely. Like, don't look on their social media. Don't I mean, it's good to like get support when it comes to dealing with the abuse, but as far as like trying to have hope for a future with them, because I know a lot of folks did reach out to me regarding they discussed their situation with the narcissist, and they're like, hey, what do I do, what do you recommend? And like, to be honest, some of the people, they did have empathy and compassion for the narcissist, because that's just the type of people that they were. They're really good people, you get me? But I just had to remind them like, hey, this is what's going on. And like I said, sometimes it's not so easy to hear the truth, right? It's not easy to hear it, but it needs to be said, right? So it may take some time. It may take an individual some time, depending on whatever's the situation or the case may be, or how things played out between the narcissist and that individual. So, I always just like to tell people, hey, remember what it is that they did to you. Never forget that. You can always forgive, but just remember that that's how you know who it is that you're dealing with, and who you can trust and who you can't trust. Because unfortunately, most people you cannot trust. That's the sad part about the world we live in. Most people are naturally evil. Most people have bad intentions. Most people are always jealous. They're competing. They're just negative individuals. But there's a good select few of people that are good-hearted people. And that's rare. That's a very rare case. It's rare that people will be honest with you. They'll tell you the truth. It's sad, but unfortunately the world that we live in. So you just want to make sure you're an individual that tells the truth. You don't lie. You don't cheat. You don't steal. You don't use people, and you don't manipulate people and stuff like that. Just be yourself. Be true to who you are. You don't have to lie or cheat or steal or try to use people to gain stuff. Like, you can get it on your own. You can call on God. That's what God is here for. God is your provider. God is your source. Once you realize that, then there's no need to be an energy vampire, or to try to be sneaky and deceptive. It's like, but think you can't tell that to a narcissist or any other toxic person. They're stuck in their ways, and you don't want to change them. And that's why people ask me, they're like, hey, Joy, do you help narcissists? I'm like, no, I don't. No, I do not help narcissists. I only help victims of the abuse, because victims of the abuse, they can get healing and they can recover. But narcissists, that's them. And that's okay. It's like, if that's who they want to be, go ahead. Like, nobody cares. But I care about the victims of the abuse, right? Because those are the ones that get affected the most. Yeah, it says, who are energy vampire victims? An energy vampire is a person who feeds off of your emotions. They get their energy fixed by preying on and consuming the vitality of their victims, leaving them feeling exhausted and drained. They lack empathy, a moral compass, and are emotionally immature. So again, just be careful. Yeah, there's also psychic vampires. It says energy vampires, psychic vampires have been used synonyms here. Let's see. What this is actually something that I'm kind of learning too. Just saying. Very interesting here. Hold on, let me see. Oh, it says psychic vampires is a fictional or folkloric creature that drains the life force of other living beings, or a person who drains the energy of others. It says the term can also be used to describe someone who gains energy from others but leaves them feeling exhausted. It says psychic vampires are featured in occult beliefs and fiction. Some say there is a thriving community of psychic vampires hidden in mainstream culture. However, many psychic vampires may not be open about their experiences due to fear of judgment or because they have conflicting interpretations of what they are. So, yeah, that's interesting, to be honest. And it says, "Oh, this is very. I guess isn't this Halloween, right? For those of you that celebrate it, isn't this ironic that this topic is coming up, right?" So it says it's three types of real vampires. There's the Sanguranian, psychic, and hybrids. It says Sanguranians feed off of small amounts of human blood, generally just a few drops. Oh wow, that is different. Different, you guys. So yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. I hope that that was helpful, and hopefully, if you're listening to this, you are not being an energy vampire or an emotional vampire. Hopefully you are able to kind of navigate your own emotions and own feelings without having to feed off of the energy of others. Now I know for some people are like, hey, it's good to kind of, be around folks and this. There's nothing wrong with socializing or doing anything like that, but just make sure you're not like being like draining for people, like how a narcissist is, or another toxic person, or, whether it's a sociopath or a psychopath or a borderline, you get me? Like, you just have to be careful, and that's why I said it's crucial. You got to do that inner work, you guys. You cannot skip it. I know it's like, oh, you don't want to, but trust me, it's something that you got to do if you want to, be more productive, be more constructive and progressive in your life. Like, that's really the goal, right? And to empower yourself and to move forward in your life. You don't want to stay stuck in the past. You don't want to be harboring over something that happened in the past and you can't move past that. You don't want that to be you, because you're going to be miserable. You don't want to be like that. You get me? But yeah, but we'll touch on this other topic though. Should more narcissists admit that they are one? Wouldn't that be great? If you're listening, if you've been a victim, that would be nice, right? Because you're like, oh, okay, I see. But even if you did know, or if the narcissist did admit, it wouldn't really change anything. But it's just like, I guess that's why a lot of them are covert, because they don't want people to know. But anyway, we'll touch on that in the next video. But I love you guys so much. Make sure that you guys do give this video a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. I would love to know what was your biggest takeaway, what you learned. And always, if you guys want to reach out to me for any support, make sure that you do go to my website, livenarcfree.com, or you can send me an email at livenarcfree9@gmail.com. Any way that I can support you, I would truly love to be able to do that. But till the next time, bye guys.